Welcome to GoldBoys Live, presented by Pickett Sports, Sleeper Picks, Hall of Fame bets. We are counting down the days now. College football starts for real tomorrow. Great pennant races. We got 4 baseball games. We got Brad, Brian, Josh. Before we get to you guys, I just want to give it out quickly because it's starting soon. I am on under 4.5. There's a 4.5 out there. First 5, Twins, Guardians. Gave it out yesterday. It was sweaty, but it got home. So that is my play. Also played a little no-run first inning. So, boys, what's going on?
So can I add on to that? Where
Yeah.
yesterday I said on the show that I like the idea of taking the Twins pitcher under in strikeouts with a Williams 6+.
Ooh.
Yesterday Lopez went under. Williams got hurt early. I ran it back plus 125 for 5+
On
for
Williams again? He's not even gonna pitch today.
no for Bybee
Oh, okay.
and then under
Brian
five and then under 5.5 for Sonny Gray. So same concept, but
under
hopefully
five and a
no
half
injuries
K.
this time. Yeah, under 5.5 for Gray, and then for Bybee 5+. So I do think it's the same concept, but hopefully we don't have any injuries on the side that you need the over for.
You weren't hitting anyway. He had like 35 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah, but I could have had because his what do you call it? His over under was still 5.5. I could have saved myself the trouble there, but who knows? He also slipped in like the second or third batter, so
Yeah.
that might have also had a impact
What did
on it.
he
Because I
hurt
don't know.
doing that? I mean,
I
that was a
don't. I
very
think he
awkward.
landed on his plant leg weird because they pulled him
Okay.
shortly after. I watched that. Honestly, I was surprised because when I first saw that, I was watching the stream. My first thing was like, oh, he doesn't look. He looks like he's kind of walking funny. And then he got out of the inning. I was like, okay, maybe he's okay. And then I got the tweet saying that he was pulled, and I was like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't serious enough where he wasn't pulled right away, but watching it again and the first 4 pitches of the game were all over the place. I was watching on the game cast. Then he wasn't sharp the first inning. Ramirez made an angle, but that was one where I got out of it. It was under 4.5 first 5. I took the under. Part of it was because I liked Williams. So when Williams got out, I was like, all right, there's a 3.5 first 5. I'm going to play over. So I was going to have a nice little middle. I played yes run fifth inning. So I ended up 2-1 on that game. But you guys got anything in the games that are about to start? Anything in baseball in general? And what's up to Kyle, who is
What's up,
messaging
Kyle?
us in the chat? Anyone on the chat, feel free to give us your questions and comments.
Dude, Kyle, I feel that a little bit, man. I started my time up in a legal state really rough, and then I came home clutch with the biggest bet of. Actually, let me just tell the story. The story is actually great. U.S. Opens on tennis, and Coco Gauff loses the first set, and the books make her minus 190 to win in the first round. But then, of course, she's not serving first. So then they make her minus 140 to win after she loses the first game of the first set of the second set. I absolutely were like literally 15 coworkers. So obviously they all work in the betting industry, all absolutely hammer Coco Golf. And that got me back to right. It got to minus 140. Man, and it was nice to kind of withdraw that money and it hit my bank account instantly. So everyone in a legal state, you are absolutely blessed.
Blessed.
Like that. I want to point out to Will's point with Nick Larson. Our big thing is don't overreact to the first inning. I was gonna say it was funny because my friend was doing that with the Gavin Williams play yesterday. Same friend that was doing it with Blake Snell had 0 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. I think he ended with like 9. So baseball is so funny because you can never feel too comfortable or too
Right.
dead in the water because there's just times where you're like, he has no strikeouts for the 2 innings. I'm just gonna call it. And then you check the box score later, like, how did he get 11?
Yeah, you can survive like a couple innings without any, even though it's bad. But when you're up in the mid 30s and you're one inning in,
Oh
like it
yeah.
starts to become a math game. Like, all right, it's hard to catch up. Oh, which you mentioned Snell. That reminds me, someone is betting the hell out of Snell for Cy Young because I just was checking the odds because I have bets on this stuff. Snell is getting bet. He is minus money at some of these books. I don't know what the thinking is. He's minus 110. This looks like Caesars, he is minus 105. I can't tell what this book is. Minus 110 at BetMGM. Even money at DraftKings, plus 110 at FanDuel. Strider still plus 210 at FanDuel. I think that's a good bet. Why? What, any idea what's behind that?
I have no
I mean,
idea.
Blake's
Who do
telling hate.
Maybe he has
No,
easy matchups down the road. He
I'm
has like
happy you brought that up. I have these in front of me. We'll see if
three
we
easy
could
games
find an
left.
edge here. Let's see. Snell's remaining starts: Giants, Astros, Dodgers, Rockies, Giants. Not easy. Not easy.
The Rockies are the easiest team in there, and then
Yeah.
Giants are
And
like,
if that's at Coors, it's tricky too in Colorado.
yeah.
So
No,
Strider has
I don't get
Dodgers,
that.
Cardinals, Phillies, Marlins, Nationals, Cubs. Okay. I mean, I feel like if you're pitching against the Dodgers, that's tough, but it also could go the other way where, all right, if you throw 7 shutouts against the Dodgers, that could be like a major statement, sort of like a Heisman
Sure.
moment. We'll get to the Heisman here pretty soon, Brad. And then Gowan has Orioles, Cubs, Mets, Giants, and White Sox. So, okay, that's not impossible. A bunch of those are on the road as
Bad on the road.
as he's been bad on the road. Yes, absolutely. So I don't know.
I think I saw some people too that were talking about Gallon. That how do you pick a Cy Young with such stark splits? I think is he still over 5 on the ERA for the road games? Not saying that's like there's any validity to that, but I
think there's validity to it. I mean, it's a monster difference. That's a
I'm just
big
talking
difference.
about in terms of voters. I'm just saying that I've seen
Yeah.
some people bring that up as a big knock against him.
Blake Snell is 11-9. I don't know if that
Right.
matters. Like,
I don't know that it
that
prevents him
matter?
from winning, but if Strider's gonna get to like 20 wins and have similar numbers and more strikeouts, I think it will matter. I mean,
yeah,
I do
he's
think
leading the
it,
league.
Yeah,
in
like Blake
ERA.
Snell's about to set the record for the most amount of walks in a season.
right,
Also true.
right.
Yeah, that's crazy. So how many more? So Strider's far and away, right? More
Yes,
Ks
with
here.
the case.
I think
The
50 or
15
it's like 50.
What
Yeah.
if Strider gets to 17 or 18 wins as well? 17
have
and
now?
4. He's got 15. Like San Diego's not a lock to win games down the stretch the
Right.
way the Bravos are.
Absolutely. Leadoff double here for Cleveland, so I'm already in some trouble here. My
It's
goodness.
crazy, man. Yeah, this
Uh-oh.
is a weirdly wide open NL Cy Young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said before a few years ago when Burns won it, I had 35-1 on Wheeler.
Oh, I had
and-
Wheeler too.
and I had great odds on Kershaw. And I'm like, okay, if I get one of these two, and it was the other one, so I'm just waiting for it to be some guy we're not even talking about that I'm not going to have any position on.
Well, don't look now, but Justin Steele has a 15-3 record with the second best ERA in the league. He's only got the 8.81 Ks per 9. That's been his thing all year. Is like Brian has actually been a savant when it comes to figuring out when Steele is going to K versus when he's not. Somehow he keeps getting the over 4.5 or 5.5s correctly. But
He went off.
15
He had a
and
great
3,
game yesterday.
he keeps piling up wins. He does not give up home runs. Fewest home runs allowed. Yeah. Imagine being the dipshit that traded him for Josh Lowe in your fantasy league in like May. What an idiot that guy was.
Tough. That's really tough, dude.
Yeah, that was stupid.
How about this? How about I had Nerfy last night and it lost and nobody scored the rest of the game?
Ooh,
Oh
you had a
my
Nerfy in the
God.
1-0 Cubs game?
I didn't give it out, but I played it.
Classic.
I
That's
found it was
amazing.
like
I
minus
respect that of
140. It
Brian.
was Burns and Steele. I was like, you know what the hell? I want a little action. I mean, those are not good bets usually, but they're fun. So I don't give them out or anything, but I do play them. And
Yeah,
that was a tough one.
it's one of those things where it's like you had such a great idea that, I mean, when it ends 1-0, you're like, yeah, there's not going to be very many runs scored in this game at all. But
Right.
to that point, can we collectively figure out how we're going to fade Kyle Freeland against the Braves tonight, please? Because I've been struggling.
I would say team total, but man, they only scored 3
8.5.
runs last night.
8.5 is their team
Oh
total tonight
man, that's crazy.
against Kyle Freeland.
Wait,
They're
shut
the
up.
best team
8.5 is their team total?
and
That's
a
crazy.
half. You have to take over 4.5 earned runs for Kyle Freeland to get close to even money. The thing that's really annoying about him is that they will leave him out there to go 6 innings and give up 5 earned runs. They do not give a shit. They're the Rockies. They have nothing to play for. So you cannot really attack his outs. It's like 15.5, and he goes 5 and 6 all the time. So, I mean, that's all he does. But he gets shelled. That's why he has a 6.5 ERA. So do you go over? Like, how do you bet that game? Like you said, last night was 3-1, and that's going to scare the crap out of people. I'm surprised the books are so bold to be like, yeah, back to 13.5 total runs for the game after it was a 4 total game last night. Like, might as well take the run line minus 160 for the Bravos.
Who is Vines? I don't know who Vines is. Who is Vines?
For Atlanta?
For the Braves.
I think he's a baseball player.
I would imagine he pitches.
I would imagine he plays baseball.
Is he good?
I don't know.
Let me see.
I don't.
Darius Vines. I've honestly never heard of that guy.
That's how much
I just couldn't imagine laying minus 160 on a minus 1.5 run line. Like that's just that's just gross.
I'm with you. I'd rather just throw him in a parlay with the Chiefs or something week 1, or throw him into some college football game. I'm okay parlaying these. And it didn't work out last night with Seattle losing, but I'm okay just parlaying some of these.
George Kirby with the late scratch.
And Julio too. I mean, they only gave up 3 runs, so
And
it wasn't
Julio, yeah.
as much on Kirby. He only scored 1 run, but Julio and Kirby, yeah, it was tough. And they had chances too, man. They had chances to tie it, but just couldn't do it.
So does that mean no one's feeling a bet on the Braves in any way here?
I don't mind throwing in a money line parlay with something.
Yeah.
Who else is a dead team? I feel like some of these dead teams here.
Let's see.
Renisha says MLB today. Yeah, do you guys have anything else MLB? I am on first 5 under in Twins Guardians, Renisha.
Man, I would rather just go. I'd rather just parlay it with college football, like, or NFL. Like, I don't want to take 2 big chalks in baseball.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. I'm trying to think of who else is a dead team you could throw this with. I mean,
I don't know.
Dodgers, just, man, you can't go wrong betting the Dodgers. I feel like I've been leaving money on the table because last night I bet them. I was like, why don't I just do this every night? They just kill everybody every night, and they killed.
And for some reason, like the Dodgers never have like this massive pitching advantage, so you still get playable odds.
However,
it's like great.
Pepio is pretty good. He's another arm that got hurt at the beginning of the season, and he's been back twice now. Pitched, still has like a 2 ERA in his 9 innings this season. He was 3-0 last season, has like 10.5 Ks per 9. So I'm definitely going with the Dodgers money line. I mean, that's one I'm happy to add to the Braves. The other matchup I really like is Patrick the Pinata Corbin to get smashed by the Blue Jays, who crush lefties. So that's another sort of team dead in the water that I'm happy to ride with the Blue Jays offense in this one. So I would parlay them with the Bravos and or the Doyers.
Yeah, Corbin hasn't been awful. 4.70 ERA. He hasn't been off. Like, I remember last year betting against him was just so easy. First run, first inning. It was like Wainwright, where you just bet it and you have to sweat it. You don't have to anything, and you just win. And he hasn't been good by any stretch, but he's been okay. And the Nats have been a pain, man. The Nats have been, I think they're the most profitable team in the league because they are big dogs a lot, and they're actually the same record as the Padres, which is just almost impossible to believe.
Yeah.
And
I think I found a line that I like.
The Padres get priced like they're the Braves, and the Nationals get
priced
they do.
Like
and the Nationals get priced like they're the A's. It's crazy.
Like they're the Double-A Braves. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like.
Oh no, you go, Brad. I was gonna say someone was talking about MLB today. I want to see. It came down on DraftKings earlier, but I want to find a way. I think I want to take Bryce Miller's out 17.5 against the A's. I mean, we talked about Kirby getting scratched
over
yesterday.
Or under?
Over.
Okay.
He never hits that line. It's just a matter of whenever a team has to scratch a starter and go a little bit more to the heavy bullpen game the day before against a team like the Braves. I think he gets a little bit more of a of a leash there. I think he gets the six outs.
Who did they pitch yesterday? Because I was following the scoreboard.
It was Luke Weaver. I think he went 3 1/3.
I didn't even know he was on that team. He
made the craziest defensive play of the year last night.
Really?
I don't know if you saw it. I tweeted about it. It blew my mind. It was a broken bat down the left, the third base line, and he slid to field the play barehanded and made the throw. It was probably one of the craziest plays I've seen in him forever.
I have a little FOMO here because I wanted to take Bybee over K's because the Twins strike out a ton, and I love Bybee. I think he's really good. He's gonna not win Rookie of the Year, but he's gonna be in maybe top 3 or 4 voting. And he got a strikeout here early, so we got 1 out bottom of the first. This is what you do when you bet first 5 unders. You're just sweating every pitch. You want nothing to go wrong. You want everyone to make the play. So it's you have action pretty much every pitch here. Phillies have a man on in the first. Man, the Phillies have gotten red hot. How about the Angels just pulling the old fantasy football move? That's the fantasy football. Hey, I'm never playing in this league again,
dude.
I'm just gonna release my whole team. I'm gonna piss everybody off, and I'm gonna just let you guys deal with it, man. Giolito, Grichuk, all the guys they traded for at the deadline on waivers, just saying, fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
They suck.
What a terrible freaking organization. Like,
and
I'm
they
glad
gave up,
Ohtani's not going to re-sign. Yeah, what the hell?
They gave up some long-term capital to get some of these names too.
Sure, they did.
Pissed them away.
I have a play that I like. Also, everyone who's watching on YouTube, drop a like button. That would help. But the Braves, I like. I was looking for a way to get this price a little bit down. Louisville money line, to add that to Braves money line, -113.
I don't mind that.
New era for Louisville. Jeff Brom brings in Jack Plummer as quarterback. We see if you look at Georgia Tech, no Jeff Sims. I think that was the only thing keeping them remotely afloat. Even with Sims, they were pretty much 100th or worse in every EPA margin. Points per ankle 100th starting field possession, net points per drive. The only thing they did well was high defensive success rate. But I think Brom is going to kind of bring that great Purdue philosophy over to Louisville and cause a lot of trouble for this team. It's minus 113.
I love Brom. I might get off it because I did take Georgia Tech plus the points, playing at +8. So I think that'll be a closer game, but I would expect Louisville to win. So maybe I'll just try for a middle, try to tie something to Louisville money line. I think that's what, Friday night?
The first, which is what, Friday night?
Yeah, let's spend a little time college football because I get the sense Rising is not play for Utah. That game's tomorrow. We got a bunch of games tomorrow. UConn, NC State, Florida, Utah. It's down to 4.5. If we get word that Rising isn't going to play, what do you think this number goes to?
3.5. It opened at 3.5 when the lines first came out.
I thought it was 9.5 for all summer.
It opened at 3.5 when lines first came out, got all the way to 10.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it's flirting back down. It flirted back down to reality, I think. And then the Rising news, now it's back down to like, oh crap. Bryson Barnes, starter for if he doesn't play, if Rising doesn't play. Had a pretty good start against Washington State. I had the stat line up, but of course, oh, there it is. I think he was like 13. Oh, he's 17-27, 175 yards in that game where they did win. He has a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, but we don't really, count that too much right now. Good with his legs. I'm just interested.
What does that mean? Good with his legs. Oh, he's a runner.
He can run if necessary.
I'm just
okay. I don't know how I'm going to bet this yet. The total, I think I'm going to be on the opposite side of the total of the steam. Like the total just keeps coming down and down and down.
What's it at now?
It's at 44 right now.
Yeah.
44. If it keeps coming down, I'm going to have to take the opposite side. What was it? 29-26 last season. We obviously know about the new clock, and we obviously know Graham Mertz is trash, but Graham Mertz could actually make Florida better, not in terms of them having a better team, but at least their offense to flow a little bit more because you have the in the pocket quarterback. I also think that going against this Utah team who has they're returning off the top of my head like 75% of production, and 65 of that or 65% of that is coming on the defensive end. I think they're going to cause a lot of trouble for Mertz. So that does shy me away, but it's just me playing against movement. In football, if you do that without news coming, you can get pretty good value often if you just ride the opposite of this team, but you need to do it kind of as the market closes there. But I could not get down with a side, man. Like the Gators are 116th in total returning production. They have Etienne and who's the other guy? Montrell Johnson as running backs. That's going to be their identity, but how are they going to run the ball when their offensive line is not going to be good? So maybe if Utah goes all the way back down to 3, like if we get that, even with Bronson, I'll probably take Utah. But I'm not in like a rush to bet this game. I probably wouldn't even have handicapped this game if it weren't on Thursday.
I have a whole bunch of 6.5, a whole bunch of 7.5. So hopefully it gets down like nice. Maybe I'll just take a money line here. I have a feeling Rising's not going to play, and this is
minus 170. Like if you get a minus 170,
man, Utah by a field goal, that would be very nice.
That would be really nice.
Do you have anything Heisman you would want to bet? Because you mentioned it in the chat before.
Yes, I'm. So I locked in my last Heisman play, and that's Michael Penix Jr. At plus 118. I believe that's on Caesars or BetMGM, actually. Yeah, BetMGM. I have to go with Penix. It was between Travis and Penix. And at the end of the day, I'm going to favor the Pac-12 defenses. They also play Michigan State, who has one of the worst secondaries in college football. So his numbers will be inflated. Last year, he finished number 2 in EPA per pass, which is not a metric that voters are looking at, but it correlates heavily to production and also overall team success. My problem with Jordan Travis is they have an elite running game. They're going to be playing better defenses. And Jordan Travis, I just don't think he won't make those flashy throws, the flashy plays. He will have to do a lot of his work just being very consistent. 280 and a couple touchdowns, no interceptions. I also think Michael Penix has a lot more room to improve in terms of efficiency. He threw 8 interceptions last year. Year 2 with DeBoer will probably make that a little bit cleaner, get him closer to the 6-5 range. And we look at Heisman moments. It's unfortunate, but like Florida State could have all of their Heisman moments at the beginning of the year, and no one remembers that. Whereas Washington has to play Oregon late at the season, has to play Utah late at the season. If both of those teams are good and he comes away with wins, and he's going to have massive stat lines against those bad defenses, unless Dan Lanning does something different, it's just going to look better in the voters' eyes.
Yeah, I agree with that about having the Heisman moments later than sooner. But the one thing is, like, Florida State, LSU, that's Sunday night. No other games going on. You never get a standalone game in college football, and they'll actually have one. So maybe you plant the seed early and you build that momentum, you build a narrative. So I think you can make the case both ways.
I can make the I could easily make the case for Travis. Like,
yeah,
it was. I literally didn't make my decision until 1 hour before the NBC College Football show that I host before it started. 1 hour, and that I've had all off season. I've gone back and forth. I pulled every number you possibly could, and they were so dead even that like it just had to go with. I just had to go with my gut.
I played Tanner Mordecai 90-1, the Wisconsin quarterback. Just took a few bucks on that.
That's that's good value.
Somebody homered for LA. I think it's Hunter Renfrow, 2-run homer. So 2-0 Angels. We mentioned like 15 minutes ago, play against these dead teams in baseball. The Orioles are beating the White Sox 3-0. Maybe we should have seen that one coming. The White Sox are just awful. They're dropping pop-ups here in the infield. So, and then still scoreless here. Twins, Guardians. Brad, I'm curious. We talked about it yesterday. How many games do you think the Cardinals win?
Oh my God. Off the top of my head, 3.
Okay.
Maybe 3.
I played 22-1 on them to go 0-17, and I played them 16-1 to go winless. So the winless one they can tie, and I still win it. The 22-1 they have to actually lose every game. So that's horrible.
Tough.
Team's horrible.
That team is awful. But if you like fantasy, I think Marquise Brown's going to be such a good fantasy play because they're going to have to throw the ball literally for the last 3 quarters of the game.
But who's throwing it to him? Probably you guys think they'll probably play Dobbs?
It has to be. They get Dobbs because he's a better passer, I guess.
Yes. The thing is that offensive line's so bad. Whoever starts, like the other guy's going to play. That guy's not. Whoever starts is not going to stay healthy. The offensive line is so bad. No. They might go through a few quarterbacks. So it looks bad at quarterback now. You might be. I don't even know. Like you might be on to the second, third string guy at some point.
The offensive line's bad. The defense is going to be horrible. Awful. Oh my God.
Like, would you be shocked if they go win us?
No, not even remotely. Like that team is like historic bad, and I wouldn't be mad if they, like they're a team that they don't need to necessarily tank for Caleb Williams, but let's say they finish 3rd worst record, they go get Joe Alt and start building back up that offensive line and try to protect Kyler Murray. I wouldn't be like mad at that as an Arizona fan.
I don't think you tank for an offensive lineman. I think they are tanking. When you tank, you're tanking for a quarterback. I think this is a total.
No, I don't think they're tanking. No, I don't think they're tanking. I think they suck, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they're trading all these players. Like they traded.
I think they're awful.
They gave them away. Like they traded. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade Brown. Like I don't know why stop now. Like if you're gonna lose all these games, why stop here?
Why did they trade? What's his name?
James Conner.
Safety.
Budda Baker.
No, the safety. Oh my God. Yeah, why didn't they trade Budda? He asked to be traded or paid.
Yeah, maybe they didn't get an offer they liked. Maybe they think like he's a team leader and he's good for their culture when they rebuild. I actually think they're going to be good in a few years because they have that Texans pick this coming year, so they're going to have some picks. And if they get Caleb Williams, which I think they will, like you could be good pretty quickly. So I get the idea. It's just, man, they're going to be really bad this year.
Horrible.
Anything else you guys like today?
Yes, I think Brad dipped.
Oh, it's okay. He talked about college football. He got all of his stuff out. He just left. He realized he did his work for today. So he bounced.
I don't blame him.
I'm looking at Boston, but I was looking at Kyle Tucker in that game to crush Cutter Crawford, just to throw a baseball bet back out there. So I took Kyle Tucker 2 total bases in that one, -115. I also sprinkled on the player performance double with the win and the 2 total bases for him.
I like the Astros in that game.
Yeah, Cutter Crawford's bad against lefties.
How about the AL West? All 3 teams, 18 games over 500.
Yeah,
I feel like it's going to be Houston. I'm rooting for Seattle. I feel like it's going to be Houston, though. Houston has a 10-game stretch coming up where they play nothing but the Royals and the A's. So I think if they're close, they're going to run away with it.
What's your division bet preference right now? What's your preference?
That's a great question. I honestly have to go through all my accounts, have a pen and paper, and go through it. It's really not that bad either way because I've made different bets on all these teams at different points where I'm not going to win that much either way. I'm not going to lose that much either way. Honestly, if you gave me true serum, I have no idea who it's better for me to win. I think Seattle, but it's not by much. I think Seattle, then Texas, then it's the worst for me if Houston wins. Although I get the 2 hundies off of you and I get to rub your nose a little bit, but that's probably the worst case scenario though is Houston winning. Although Cubs are probably going to make the playoffs. So
yeah, Cubs are making the playoffs. So yeah, that was my best 3-1 bet with you.
Did you see the Cubs schedule the next 10 games after this?
Yep.
It's all home games. It's all against teams in contention for the wild card. So it's the Reds, the Giants, and the D-backs. So they will they'll settle that on the field.
They're controlling their own destiny. Yeah.
Yeah, and they get the games at home too, which is good.
And the Diamondbacks suck again, so they're on one of their downs. It's insane. Two streakiest teams in the MLB.
All of them. Even the Giants, they're so good. Then they can't win a game. Then they can't lose a game. Like the Diamondbacks, same way. So good, so bad, so good again. And you can say, hey, they've gotten to be so bad again, but they're just playing the Dodgers, so you give them a little bit of a pass. But I wonder if the Rangers have a little uptick now. We mentioned them yesterday, and I think I was 3-0 on the picks I gave out because I like Texas, Houston, and the under. Maybe Texas has a little turning point the other night where they won that game against the Mets, and that turns them around, and they can run off.
They won last night, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah. That's cool. Would love for them to win the division. Do you have anything on the World Series? Does anybody have anything on that?
Oh, I have Seattle 75-1.
Okay.
Cool. I have
55-1 maybe. No, 55.
Oh, just Braves 4-1.
4-1 Braves. Yeah.
You guys go ahead.
I was just gonna say it doesn't seem like the Dodgers, even though they look like unbeatable, like you get them in a series with a good team and good bats, and they don't have good enough pitching. Doesn't seem like there's that much value on them.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna say, Will?
What would you guys pick for the NLCS and the ALCS right now? Like life on the line, who would be the 4 teams?
I've got Stros winning that game, and I would take them against the Rays at this point.
Let's go Rays.
I don't think the Rays are going to be in the ALCS.
I don't trust Baltimore's pitching in a.
Every time I count the
Rays for the National League,
they get hot again. So I don't understand what's
the favorites. Like
the Dodgers, Braves, Astros, Rays.
Yeah, I'm pretty chalk with that. I've had the Astros for a while in that place.
Verlander, Brian.
I don't know if I trust the Rays. The Rays are so up. The Rays are so up and down. I just feel like the Rays were so good to start the year, and they've had their ups and downs. But
they played well lately, though. I think they're 10 out of 11, 9 out of 11 or something.
But I just feel like you can't have downs to make it that far. That's my only worry.
Every team has downs. It's just when you have your downs. Like baseball is a game.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying. I don't know. That team's just been
that's what's so hard. That's what's so hard about like handicapping who's going to win the World Series because like I feel like you can't make that decision until like 2 weeks before the World Series starts. Just like hockey,
That's why my only
you gotta wait 14 days.
Yeah, that's why I think the Astros are good to win the LCS. Like I like them the most coming out of the AL. And so that's why I was like, they're the only team I have money on to win the World Series because I was like, they're the only team I'm like, I feel really confident you're coming out of that league.
Are we ready to believe in the Orioles? Like every time I think the Orioles runs over, it's just they keep winning.
It's not great starting pitching. Plus, they're missing Batista at the end. The AL playoffs are going to be fun.
Oh yeah, Batista got hurt like his last game, right?
Yeah, it was like a Sunday, like last Sunday, and it was huge. Okay. It's a big deal. So like, yeah,
I watched them come out.
They have a good bullpen because they have 2 really good arms in the bullpen, and he's the back end of it. And so they're starting pitching like goes 6-7 innings even, right? A lot of those guys they just can leave him out there, but I don't like Grayson Rodriguez and Dean Kramer in a playoff series. Like, sorry, it's Kramer. You got to stop calling him Kramer, by the way, Brian.
It's Kramer. It's always been Kramer. It's always gonna be Kramer.
And you need to put some respect on Cole Reagans now. My man has had 8 Ks 4 games in a row. He's no longer Crab Rangoon. He is Cole Reagans.
He came from the Rangers, right?
Yeah, last year. My what did the Rangers not do with him? Of love and affection.
I don't know why they wouldn't want him in a rotation that had Eovaldi as the ace all year.
Well, they didn't unlock. There was something in his game that they didn't unlock that the Royals have for whatever reason. whether it's pitch usage, mechanics.
I will say one of those teams I just talked about that he's had 8 Ks against was good. The rest were the Pirates.
Yeah, but still, no. But when you're striking out that many guys, that's real. Like you don't.
True.
That's a massive.
Struck out 11 A's.
Yeah.
Incidentally, picked him up on my fantasy team. But anyway, yeah, love Cole Riggins. That's all I got.
I got a sleeper play.
Hell yeah.
Going
against my UConn Huskies, dude.
It's oh yeah, fade the Huskies. I don't want to play those points. All right, sleeper play. Justin Houston from North Carolina State, under 62.5 rushing yards. Opened at 67.5. Still play the under there. Running back by committee. Didn't hit this in like 8 out of whatever amount of games he played. Also bringing in the new system and philosophy there. Should be more of a pass-oriented offense. The next one we have there, R.J. Harvey to score a rushing touchdown. The 36-point spread was enough for me to want to back the running back in the running system. R.J. Harvey's not really like an Isaiah Bowser like they had last year, but he's going to get in the end zone. And I picked rushing touchdown instead of anytime touchdown because like he's plus 600 to score a receiving touchdown. If I get screwed that way, then so be it. But I think the Knights score a lot of points. This is their home opener in the Big 12. Hey, Victor, as a way for you to kind of join us tomorrow, I will give out my play for LSU versus Florida State tomorrow. And it's not because I'm trying to tease the show for tomorrow. I have not made a decision.
Oh, they always say that. This fucking guy.
If you want a lean, I will lean the over. But I do a lot of due diligence in handicapping.
I got the under there.
Numbers, so the under. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be hot. These defenses are gonna be so tired. Points are gonna be scored. It's gonna be wild. I'm like, this is one of those games where I know I'm gonna regret not going, but like I only want to tailgate and then get back home and watch it on the surround sound, like with a beer in my hand.
Yeah, it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. I just think it's a big game. There's a little feeling out process, early little jitters. I think big games, they tend to just trend under more.
Yeah,
Nobody
true.
wants to lose it right away.
God, these quarterbacks are just so dynamic. Like I feel like they're going to be moving the chains a lot. And the under was already the new clock under was already baked in a little bit on it.
Yeah. All right, I think we can wrap on that. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 Eastern. We got scoreless here, Cleveland, Minnesota. So look, it's never never under till it's over. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's so funny to see the Angels waive everybody, and then now they're just all hitting home runs on waivers.
Yeah, well, one guy hit a home run. Now Philly thinks about to.
But yesterday was what's his name?
Grichuk. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so it's two guys on waivers.
Double homer. It's weird that they're on waivers, but they're still playing. It's very strange.
Yeah, well, and it's even funnier that they're performing better than anybody else on the team.
Right. Very odd. Yeah, Bader's going on waiver for the Yankees. There's a bunch of guys. I don't remember this happening in past years where they have this process of like, here, just take my guy. We're not trading him. You can have him, but they're still playing. It's very strange. Isn't it strange?
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. Like, I don't know how that works. Maybe I'm stupid, but I don't even know how it works. But like at the same time, I don't even know the point of it. Like if I put a guy on waivers,
I think you dump their salary.
Yeah, I mean the point of playing them on waivers. Like if I'm getting rid of somebody, I don't know. Know.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. Maybe showcasing them. Yeah, no, it's strange. It is strange. All right, boys. Thank you to Pickett, Sleeper, Hall of Fame Bets. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. Appreciate everyone in the chats. See you tomorrow.